Channel 5 at 10.
The Bush version of a tax cut goes to Capitol Hill. The president says he still sees warning signs that the economy could be in big trouble. He thinks a big tax cut is the answer. New information about the White House shooting and possible motives. She was mauled to death by a dog. Will it become a case of murder? And one of the best places anyone could work. Where? Relax. Eye on America will show you.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. President Bush today again talked down the U.S. economy, and this time he did it in some of the strongest terms yet as he sent Congress the big tax cut plan he says will stoke the economy up. Some economists worry that it's a long-term risk. Mr. Bush said his more than $1.5 trillion in tax cuts are just right. Democrats said again the Bush cuts are mostly a boon to the rich, and they say the cuts risk squandering the nation's budget surplus. Now comes the hard part, understanding what, if anything, all this may mean to you. CBS's John Roberts has the facts, financial and political.
President Bush sent his tax cut plan to Capitol Hill today, accompanied by a final urgent pitch.
A warning light is flashing on the dashboard of our economy, and we just can't drive on and hope for the best. We must act without delay.
Warning that an economy once in doubt is now in danger, Mr. Bush argued swift passage of his plan could make the difference between growth or recession. Under the phased plan submitted today, a single earner making $32,000 would get back just $60 in the first year, but $500 in the fifth. A married couple with just under $57,000 income, $120 in the first year, moving up to $600. A two-earner household with two children making about $60,000, $391 in the first year, almost $2,000 when phased in. And a married couple with no children making $950,000 a year would get back almost $9,000 in the first year, more than $43,000 in the fifth.
Yeah, all right.
Smiling Republicans this afternoon proclaimed tax relief is on the way. Democrats rolled out a new car and a car part to illustrate the difference between what wealthy and working folk could buy with their tax cut and declared war.
We've already tried what President Bush is proposing. We did that in 1981. The rich got richer, the poor got poorer, and working families got stuck with the entire bill.
Lawmakers are closely watching public opinion for signals on how far to go. Margaret Caromo likes the Bush plan. Chuck Wolf is looking for more than the president is willing to give.
If the tax cut meant that I was going to be able to help finance a house or buy a new car or something, then it would be significant. But this way, it's just, well, dinner and a movie, I suppose.
The president wants to make the tax cut retroactive to January 1st to give the economy an even bigger boost. But Democrats say that would only inflate a plan that's already too expensive. Dan?
John Roberts at the White House. On the CBS Market Watch, with the economy unquestionably slowing at least some, it apparently took deep discounts to get shoppers into many stores last month. Even so, figures out today indicate sales at some of the biggest retailers were way down. Also down, though, are mortgage rates. They've fallen now to just below 7% for a 30-year fixed, which helps home building a key for the economy. Stocks overall closed lower today. The Dow lost 66 points. The Nasdaq was off 45. We know more tonight about the Wednesday morning shooting incident at the White House and the man behind it. CBS News correspondent Bob Orr has the latest now on what happened and what may have been in the gunman's mind.
It was almost business as usual today at the White House. As President Bush presented his tax cut plan in the Rose Garden, tourists lined up for pictures along the south fence. But Secret Service officers were there too, searching for more evidence from yesterday's shooting. Police are also studying this letter written just last week by suspect Robert Pickett. The fired IRS accountant complained to government officials, writing, "My life has been destroyed." Pickett also suggested he would die soon and warned, "My death is on your hands."
He sees himself as a victim of injustice, of a corrupt government, and his motive at this point is to complain as loudly as possible.
Criminologist James Fox says Pickett used the White House as a high-profile stage to get attention and presented no real threat to the president or anyone else. But law enforcement sources say Pickett did fire his .38 caliber revolver. 3 spent shells were found in the handgun, and 6 more bullets were found in his car parked 15 miles away. And there are new details as to how the shooting played out. Sources say a Secret Service officer inside the White House fence took the only shot he had as Pickett crouched near the sidewalk. The bullet hit Pickett in the knee, but not because the officer was only trying to disable the man. The incident has prompted speculation that Pickett may have been trying to get police to kill him, a phenomenon known as suicide by cop. Fox has his doubts.
I don't think he wanted to die at all. I think he just wanted to speak, and speak very loudly.
Pickett, who has a history of mental illness, is recovering from his gunshot wound. Meanwhile, the U.S. attorney here is reviewing the evidence and may file charges as early as tomorrow. Bob Orr, CBS News, Washington.
As for another high-profile investigation, Congress today began looking into President Clinton's last-minute pardon of Mark Rich, the fugitive financier. Clinton insists he acted on the facts of the case and nothing else. As CBS's Bob Schieffer reports, that didn't stop the questions.
Just before prosecutors indicted him for fraud, evading $48 million in taxes and making illegal oil deals with Iran, high-flying financier Mark Rich fled to Switzerland and has been skiing ever since. So, with federal prosecutors still trying to bring him to trial, why did former President Clinton give him that surprise pardon? That was Congress's question, and even one of the president's longtime supporters wouldn't defend him today.
The evidence, in my opinion, sustains the theory that the president used incredibly bad judgment.
But Waxman saw no criminal wrongdoing, and Rich's lawyer, one-time White House counsel Jack Quinn, said he urged the pardon because the government really had no case.
But I remain to this day absolutely and unshakably convinced that the prosecutors constructed a legal house of cards in this indictment.
Federal prosecutors strongly disagreed, and while former Deputy Attorney General Eric Holder said he was neutral on the matter, he too seemed anxious to distance himself from the president's action.
But let me be very clear. Let me be very clear about one important fact. Efforts to portray me as intimately involved or overly interested in this matter are simply at odds with the facts.
Rich's ex-wife Denise was a big political contributor to both Clintons, and the committee is also trying to find out if there's a link between the donations and the pardon.
From the ex-wife, there was furniture and several $1,000s worth of furniture given to the president. There were huge campaign contributions.
They won't get the answer from Mrs. Rich. She refused to appear, telling the committee she'll exercise her Fifth Amendment right not to testify against herself.
For sure, this whole thing seems to raise many questions, but in truth, there isn't much Congress can do about it. Once a pardon is given, it cannot be revoked. Dan.
Bob Schieffer on Capitol Hill. The criticism of the Rich pardon has been long, loud, and bipartisan. But in the long, loud history of presidential pardons, is this one really in a class by itself? We have a reality check for you tonight by CBS's Eric Ingberg.
Former President Clinton's on the way out the door pardon of fugitive financier Mark Rich infuriated his foes and disturbed even his friends. How could he? Time out. Bill Clinton is far from being the first president to clean off the slate of someone in a legal jam who's got powerful political connections. Exhibit A, President Ford and Richard Nixon. Once Nixon resigned in the midst of impeachment, the prosecutors were still chasing him for Watergate crimes. His successor, Gerald Ford, ended all that with
a full, free, and absolute pardon unto Richard Nixon.
Ford claimed he only wanted to close the book on Watergate, but the uproar helped cost him the next election. The first president, George Washington, gave pardons to the leaders of the Whiskey Rebellion in Pennsylvania after they tarred and feathered U.S. liquor tax collectors. The first President Bush pardoned former Defense Secretary Weinberger just days before Bush was scheduled to testify at Weinberger's trial on charges related to the Iran-Contra caper. The Democratic finger-wagging was led by this fellow.
I am concerned by any action which sends a signal that if you work for the government, you're above the law.
who later pardoned former Congressman Dan Rostenkowski. Harry Truman handed out wholesale pardons to crooked political cronies back home in Missouri. Money seems to count, too. New York Yankee owner George Steinbrenner, convicted of illegal campaign contributions, was pardoned by President Reagan. Wealthy industrialist Armand Hammer, nailed for his campaign gifts, was pardoned by Bush.
The history of out-the-door pardons shows the best way to get one is to hire a politically connected lawyer. Be rich. Do political favors for big shots. Better yet, all of the above. Eric Engberg, CBS News, Washington.
Still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, a woman is mauled to death by a dog. Should the owners face murder charges? And this may not look like work to you. Oh, but it is. Tonight's Eye on America.
Ooh, nice.
If you've got a business to run, Staples has everything you need at guaranteed low prices.
We got to get that contract signed.
Sir, did you order the Kung Pao chicken?
Yeah, it's going to be a long night.
Get the HP 45A Inkjet 2-pack for $48.98. Unbeatable prices. Staples, yeah, we've got that.
You led a full life. Then you were diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. But there's new hope. A prescription drug that relieves pain and inhibits the progression of joint damage. It's called Remicade. Your doctor may prescribe Remicade if you're on methotrexate already and not responding well. You take 1 dose of Remicade every 8 weeks after the first 3 doses. Of course, Remicade is not for everyone. Serious infections requiring hospitalization have been reported. If you are prone to or have a history of infections, currently have one, or develop one while taking Remicade, tell your doctor right away. There's a risk of serious infusion reactions with hives, difficulty breathing, and low blood pressure. Ask about Remicade and inhibiting the progression of joint damage.
Oh.
Can't sleep, honey? What's the matter? Oh, heartburn. I know just what you need.
Introducing new Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief. Faster than Pepcid, Zantac, or even the leading prescription. Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief. Cool, effervescent, specially formulated to put out the fire of heartburn fast.
Better, dear.
New Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief. Nothing puts out the fire faster.
With MSN Money Central, you've got the #1 ranked financial site to check all your accounts from any web connection anytime.
Enterprise? Hi, my car's out of commission, so I'm out of commission.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up,
This is great.
drive you to our place, and get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
For the third time in less than 2 weeks, police have arrested students for allegedly planning a school massacre, this time in Fort Collins, Colorado. 3 boys, 2 aged 14, 1 15, are accused of plotting to attack their junior high. The younger boys are charged with conspiracy to commit murder. The 15-year-old pleaded guilty to a lesser charge. San Francisco's district attorney is deciding whether to file murder charges in a gruesome case of death by dog attack. The potential defendants are a man and woman who were caring for the killer dog. And as CBS's John Blackstone reports, the victim was their neighbor.
The killing 2 weeks ago shocked San Francisco, but it seemed unlikely back then that anyone would be charged with murder in the death of Diane Whipple, a 33-year-old college lacrosse coach. In the hall outside her own apartment, Whipple was attacked and mauled to death by 1, perhaps 2 of her neighbor's huge dogs.
She was terrified of those dogs.
Sharon Smith shared the apartment with Whipple and shared her fear of the neighbor's dogs, known as Canary Island Mastiffs, often bred for fighting.
She was living in fear of those dogs the last month that she was alive.
The neighbors, Robert Noel and Marjorie Knoller, are criminal attorneys. The dogs actually belong to one of their clients, Paul Schneider, who is serving a life sentence for attempted murder. And now, Noel and Knoller may face murder charges.
This in my mind, is murder. And I want them to be held responsible for that.
San Francisco's District Attorney Terrence Hallinan says murder investigators are on the case.
As it's developed, it's much more unfortunate than just a dog bite. A woman is dead. We're investigating homicide.
I would not be surprised if Terry Hallinan went off half-cocked as he usually does.
They had dogs. They had lethal weapons. And they put all of us in jeopardy.
Since Whipple's death, vicious dogs have put San Francisco on edge. Though animal control officers say reported dog bites have actually been declining, many here find themselves fearful whenever a big dog heads their way. John Blackstone, CBS News, San Francisco.
On the CBS Health Watch, there's new research out tonight on 2 childhood health issues that may have a big impact later in life. One study finds more children than ever under the age of 4 are overweight or obese. And a separate study indicates babies that are fed infant formula have higher blood pressure when they grow up than breastfed babies. CBS Next. Escape from bondage. They left the only homes they knew to avoid their mother's fate.
Interest in the Yellow Pages? Falling? Now there's something better. Switchboard.com, a free directory powered by the internet. It's business listings, it's people search, it's maps and directions, locally and nationally. So before you pick up a Yellow Pages, drop in on us instead. Switchboard.com. Think outside the book.
There will always be skeptics. You know them. They say it will never work. Never happen. Never fly. But the next time they tell you all the logical reasons why it can't be done, just remember all the times that they have been wrong.
Most people don't know that in the last 10 years that Gateway's helped 1 million small businesses. True economic growth comes from those small businesses. They're the ones making it happen. Gateway's always been about the direct relationship with our customers. We're local. We have people right there who can help you with your business solutions. Over the next few months, we're going to show you what happens when small businesses get the power they deserve.
Sign here? Sorry, I only have a minute. In so many ways, in so many places, it keeps 1 million disasters a day from happening. It's like having a life insurance policy you never knew you had.
Gotta go.
It's plastics.
There's my good girl.
Plastics make it possible.
It's been a long time coming. But I'm leaving you in good hands. Sarah?
Thanks, Dad. Taking care of business.
In business, you can count on things to change. That's why millions of companies count on Office Depot to help them take care of business.
Taking care of business.
Israel's new Prime Minister-elect Ariel Sharon told Palestinian leaders today that there will be no more peace talks until and unless attacks on Israeli targets stop. That warning followed a powerful car bomb explosion in a Jewish section of Jerusalem. It caused heavy damage, but just one minor injury. 2 militant Arab groups claimed the attack. China, despite its communist rule, is moving ever closer to becoming a modern nation with all the technological bells and whistles. Yet just beneath that 21st century surface and deeper into the countryside lies the ancient tradition-bound China, where millions of women labor effectively as slaves. For some, there is now hope of escape, as CBS's Barry Peterson learned on assignment in China.
It is the start of a new day for these teenagers from the rural provinces of China. Young women starting a new life that defies centuries of Chinese tradition. Unchanged in rural areas, still locked in the past, despite China's stunning economic leap forward. These traditions dictate a rural woman's life: unpaid field worker, domestic servant, child bearer, and personal property of the man who buys her. At this school outside Beijing, they are learning how to break the chain. It was founded by Wu Qing, a member of the People's Congress, who knows leaving home is not easy.
I think they need a lot of guts to do it, because they don't know what they are going to face.
Most have barely a junior high education. They train for jobs in pattern making and sewing, or using computers. Skills mean jobs, and jobs mean financial independence.
They do not have to depend upon a man to change their own lives.
These women are part of a huge migration of peasants flocking to the cities from areas so poverty-stricken they have neither electricity nor indoor plumbing. By some estimates, 20 million desperate women are scratching out lives today in the shadows of China's urban prosperity. Some work as domestics or shop clerks in Beijing. Once a week, they gather to compare notes. In my hometown, she says, marriages are arranged when girls are 16 or 17. But coming to Beijing made me independent. Now, I would no longer choose the way of my hometown. Loja Mama's family accepted a man's offer of marriage. He would pay $50 for her.
My parents didn't care what I thought. They wanted to force me into the arranged marriage.
This is like sexual slavery.
Yes, it is. It is.
After Professor Wu spoke in my village, I came to her school. She saved my life.
I didn't even know about that.
It is a tiny revolution so far. But how China will change if millions more rural women learn that life isn't about being a man's property. Their life is their own. On assignment in Dongliu Village, China, I'm Barry Peterson.
Coming up next, Eye on America. Lunch whistle? How about a lunch piano? At a job most workers could only dream of.
The CBS Evening News and tonight's Eye on America segment are sponsored by Imodium AD. Restore yourself.
Hey world, I'm back. Know that old saying about diarrhea? Just let it run its course. Why did I listen to that for so long? Today, I did what was right for my body. I took control. I took Imodium.
Why suffer when Imodium AD can stop diarrhea safely and gently, often in just one dose? Imodium AD. Restore yourself. New from the makers of Imodium, Probiotica, the dietary supplement that promotes digestive health.
My dry, itchy skin would flare up. I just wanted to hide.
Cordate helps heal and protect dry, itchy skin fast with maximum strength medicine and special moisturizers.
My skin was healed.
First aid, fast aid, Cordate.
Zeke's a mighty dog. A dog his size has less calcium in his bones than larger dogs, so Zeke gets Mighty Dog. It's rich in calcium for strong bones. It'll make your dog a mighty dog. From Friskies.
I love corn on the cob. Not just corn, I love corn on the cob. And Super Polygrip holds my dentures very tight. It does the job. It holds all day, right through dinner. With Super Polygrip, I eat all the corn I want.
It's the only vehicle of its kind with full-time all-wheel drive and a 325 horsepower V8. Is it possible the ultimate performance and control machine isn't German, isn't Italian, and isn't a car? Introducing the GMC Sierra C3.
Sound is free. And so is our hearing screening. Beltone invites you to hear what you've been missing. Call today. Beltone. Listen again.
Oh my! Applebee's Steak Toppers! Top sirloin with your choice of irresistible toppings. It's got to be Applebee's.
Coming up tonight at 6, what would make a person commit a crime and then get that crime on tape? We'll have the psychology behind that tonight at 6.
Well, how is it where you work? Treating you pretty well? Don't answer just yet. First, take a look at the enviable working conditions at a company Richard Schlesinger visited for tonight's Eye on America.
To an outsider, there's something extraordinary about an ordinary day at this software firm near Raleigh, North Carolina.
The company is very well known for the benefits that we provide.
The woman getting the massage is Carla Keever, a paralegal at the company called SAS. The masseuse is provided at discount rates to SAS employees in a company massage room available during business hours.
You get back to your office feeling much better.
Yeah, I'll bet. So are you feeling better already?
Sure.
SAS is regularly voted one of the best, if not the best, company to work for. And it's not just because of the massages.
How are you? It's great.
Every employee gets free on-site medical care. There's a company pool next to the company gym, near the frisbee field and the soccer field.
Yeah. Yes, good.
Not far from the subsidized daycare, which is right next door to the subsidized cafeteria. The piano player is free.
So, Philip, how often do you have lunch with your dad? Do you have lunch with your dad every day?
Philip Teasley's father, Doug, is a programmer here. He takes his son to work most days and leaves him in the daycare center. He pays $250 a month, but it's worth a lot more to him. So much more that he's turned down job offers paying $30,000 more per year than he's making now.
But to me and my wife, there's some things more important than money. Having peace of mind is more important.
All this warm and fuzzy treatment pays off in cold, hard cash. A Stanford University business professor studied this place and figures because all those little touches, like this putting green, keep employee morale so high and turnover so low, the perks actually save the company about $75 million every year.
I think a company has a choice. Either you can spend the money on the employees or you can spend the money on headhunters.
Jim Goodnight is the founder of SAS. He doesn't dole out all these benefits because he's a good guy. He does it because it's good business. His company has made him the richest man in North Carolina and by far the most popular boss.
I'm never going to leave SAS. Y'all just bury me here. I'm just here forever.
Providing space for on-site car washes or picking up and delivering laundry means the overwhelming majority of SAS employees stay healthy, stay happy, and most importantly, stay here. For Eye on America, I'm Richard Schlesinger in Cary, North Carolina.
And that's part of our world tonight. I'll be down at the office vending machine picking up dinner, then back for the late shift on 48 Hours. Harold Dow has a preview.
Crystal was 10 years old when she survived a serial killer.
Can you show us how you had your hands?
I had them up like this.
Now she holds his life in her hands.
I saw what he did to Katie and I was scared he was going to do it to me.
Tonight on 48 Hours.
That story of the courage of a 10-year-old girl on 48 Hours, 10 o'clock, 9 Central. For the CBS Evening News, Dan Rather reporting. I'll see you soon on 48 Hours.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the internet and on our interactive partner, America Online, at keyword CBS News.
Their adoption nightmare. Eye on America investigates tomorrow. Experience CBS News.
Coming up on News Channel 5 at 6, Tennessee could soon see a lottery. What will that do for the volunteer state?
The thing about mailboxes, that's also the easiest crime.
Plus, this week we showed you a group of video vandals. Tonight, we ask, why would you do that?
This was a fluke. This is one of those comedy shows that you see that happen. That's all this was. This was a comedy show that just fell in your lap.
Plus, escaped Alabama inmates talk to News Channel 5. Hear about their life on the run.